All right, I'm going to highlight two things that were previously known, but still insane. And the reaction to Caitlin Clark remains almost unhinged. Caitlin crash out. This is mostly an internet thing, so I want to be careful to not blow it out of proportion. But let's start with the positives, the motion, the popularity, the things that we know. Caitlin Clark's jersey getting retired by Iowa on February 2nd against USC. Really cool, right? Like a cool moment. Best player in school history, maybe best player in college history, regardless. Amazing historic things. The university is going to retire her jersey. How could there possibly be a controversy? We'll get to that in a second. But the demand is there. This is the real life. Again, the difference between the internet and real life. I'm going to leave the internet to the side for a second. Real life shows you people are excited about this. Real life shows you that this is a hot ticket. According to TickPick, a ticket reseller there, Iowa will retire Caitlin Clark's jersey on February 2nd with tickets starting at $711, the most expensive in women's basketball history. So, not kind of expensive, not more than normal, the most in history. And she's not even playing in the game. That's what she means to Iowa, to that area, to women's basketball. Right? And look, it's nothing to really brag about when the ticket prices go high because then a lot of people can't go who want to go. I'm not like one who's like, yay, the prices are so high. But that is a supply and demand thing, especially in today's day and age where there's no such thing as a sellout, right? Where you can go to any event you want as long as you're willing to pay for it because of the secondary ticket market. So, as you can see, Iowa taking on USC and Juju Watkins, nationally televised game, I believe. February 2nd, 2-2, so it's 22. Everything about it lines up. But of course, whenever anything happens with Caitlin Clark, there has to be a crash out. Caitlin crash out. And there were some folks, I'm not even going to highlight their posts because I don't want to signal boost, rage bait, and, idiotic takes. But one of the sentiments that was expressed was, oh, it's the same day as Asia Wilson's. How could you do? First of all, I remember them announcing Asia Wilson was getting her jersey retired, but I didn't remember the date or anything. I didn't, when the Clark news broke, I didn't think about Asia Wilson. And again, as is the case with Caitlin Clark, this only is going to bring more attention to Asia Wilson's jersey retirement. First of all, there's nothing wrong with two schools retiring respective jerseys on the same day. But secondly, if you wanted the focus to be on Asia Wilson, she'll probably get more attention as the second, most recognized jersey retirement of that day than she would have if she had the stage all to herself on that day. But it's basically irrelevant. And South Carolina waited years and years to retire Asia's jersey, which is deserved, of course. It's not fair to really throw Asia into this when she didn't do anything, but some of her fans, they like to do that and play victim about everything, I guess, even though it's, victim is a strong word, I guess, because that's for real things. But, to this basketball discourse circus. And then there was, Iowa is rushing this. They're rushing, or everything is rushed with Caitlin Clark. No, she just did things faster and garnered more attention and more notoriety and celebrity and celebration and popularity. Nothing is rushed. In fact, Iowa has done this, from what I've read, like this before with their few jersey retirements. It wasn't a wait. It was almost immediately. Secondly, they announced Caitlin Clark was getting her jersey retired like last spring. This is not something that just sprung up on everybody. Thirdly, of course they're going to do it in a high-profile game that a lot of people are going to see that happens to match up with the numerology. So again, and then, that was boosted by a content creator who, misspelled Caitlin Clark's name and referenced Derrick Rose. And did you know an injury was happening? Why are you rushing all this stuff? Like, just kind of a mean-spirited take. Also had the date wrong and that. So I'm not putting these people up, giving them the engagement that they're seeking. I guess I'm giving the attention that they're seeking because I'm discussing this. But it is really It is a phenomenon. It is something. I mean, I guess I've seen it with LeBron James. I guess I've seen it with LeBron James where, um, to a certain extent, there's a reaction to everything he says or does. But with Caitlin Clark, it's even a whole nother element. There's other factors that go into it. There's other details and variables and all that stuff. So I don't know. It's just one of those things. And another day, that's the I guess the other point about it. Like we're so far into the off season already. There's so long before Caitlin Clark plays another basketball game. Yet she can still dominate some of this discussion and still is on people's minds. Obviously, with me, you know, that's true too, but that's because of what I'm covering and what I'm presenting. And I think my responsibility to the audience when clearly the demand is there. Just look at the views on the videos, um, and the articles and all that stuff. But with everybody else, especially those who claim they don't like Caitlin Clark or she's getting too much attention, they sure seem to be the first to comment on anything that's going on. But overall, this is a really positive thing. It should be a great day for the sport. I mean, Asia Wilson deserves to be honored. She's going to be honored. She will be celebrated. That is great. For Gamecocks Nation, for South Carolina, Dawn Staley and company, I'm sure will do a tremendous job properly honoring Asia Wilson and her career at South Carolina. Then Iowa and USC, that's going to be high profile because of the names involved, Juju being a part of that game, how it's broadcast, and then, of course, Caitlin Clark and the ceremony and everybody that's going to come back. And I'm sure the way that they'll go, I only would say over the top because you can't really go over the top and celebrating something like that. But yeah, it'll be a lot. So Caitlin Crash Out. There you have it. The hottest ticket and the hottest talking point. The tickets for Iowa in that game, according to TickPick, the highest on record for a women's basketball game. And then when it comes to the talking points, it's pretty obvious. We see it on a day-to-day basis. Until I got the ticket hook, I wasn't even gonna do this. But because I had the ticket hook, I feel like I could present it all in one coherent thought without relying solely on the people who were crashing out, for lack of a better term. But of course, the jersey retirement is deserved and it should happen soon.